doesn't love money? I've had an interest in money since all the way back to the summer after second grade. That's really my very first money memory. And my interest in money is probably rooted in the fact that my family didn't come from much. In fact, we had to struggle pretty hard just to get to the poverty level. But I was fortunate enough to be exposed to money through some of the friends that I had made at a young age, but more so probably through like TV and movies. But ultimately, that issue of being exposed to money, it really just gave me this question, like, what is it that people are doing that actually make them millionaires? And it wasn't until I was a teenager that I actually learned the answer to that. The formula for real wealth creation, it's all rooted in this one word. The one word is habits. There are habits that you can put into practice in your daily life that lead to desired outcome. But that's when I started to do my journey, to figure out all the different habits that potentially could lead to me becoming a millionaire. So I started studying and researching. In fact, if you go right now into Google and you type in Google habits that make you a millionaire, you'll come up with tons of articles of all the different habits out there. And trust me, I've put almost all of them into practice within my own life. But there are a few of them you absolutely should avoid. They will not push you forward. At least they didn't for me. But there were some habits, 13 of them in fact, that I found that when I employed them within my own life, they actually led to becoming a millionaire. And I want to share those 13 habits with you today. But before we go any further, if you wouldn't mind, if you're liking what you're seeing, just click that like button because it would really help me out. The algorithm loves it and I'd appreciate it. So now let's jump into those habits. So an honest question for you. When was the last time you just sat back and just thought about what's going on in your life? Where you are personally, where you are in business? Self-reflection is a habit that I wish more people could enjoy because it actually does make a major difference in your life. If you just take yourself out of the hustle and bustle of what's going on a consistent basis, figure out whether that's going to be 10 to 15 minutes every morning when you first wake up, or 10 to 15 minutes every night before you go to bed, just to reflect on what's going on so that you can reorganize your priorities for where you want them to take you. My mother used to tell me that the easiest way to catch a cold was to hang out with sick people. That's absolutely true, right? The people you hang out with, the rooms that you're in, the individuals you interact with, they all impact who you are and who you have the potential to become. My own personal journey was absolutely impacted by the people I was surrounding myself with. Once I got an opportunity to start surrounding myself with the people who had already achieved the things that I had only aspired to, I was motivated. I could learn vicariously through them and ultimately just motivate myself to move further along in my journey to becoming a millionaire. So how can you do it? Find masterminds to attend, get involved in local meetup groups, but most importantly, put into practice the habit of surrounding yourself with the people you'd like to become. So I want you to imagine for a moment, how many hours in a day do you think that Jeff Bezos has? What about Elon Musk? What about Carl Icahn or any other individual that you believe signifies a significant level of success within whatever enterprise they're engaged in? Probably the answer is 24, right? I mean, we all only have 24 hours in a day. So what are the major differentiators? Well, one obviously is skill set and knowledge base, maybe even wisdom, which is the practical application of skill. But ultimately, it also comes down to time management. Since we all have the same amount of time in the day, how we can productively use that time matters. Time management skill, therefore, is a habit that's absolutely critical if you want to become a millionaire. What I'm about to share with you is math, but don't get crazy because it's not going to be math that's overwhelming. It's simple math, like 1 + 1 = 2 type math. A habit that absolutely led to me to becoming a millionaire was my dedication and commitment to constantly accounting for what was coming in and going out of my business. When you're sitting around running your business, it's easy to get distracted with the day-to-day operations. But the reality is this: cash and cash flow is the lifeblood of business. And if you don't regularly keep track of what's going on in your business, you'll never hope to be able to keep much more of it so that you can achieve millionaire status. If you end up following the herd, you're gonna end up with the results the herd gets. If you want to live the life that most will never, you have to be willing to do the things that most won't. I think one of the easiest ways for you to become a millionaire is simply just to keep much more of what you're already working hard for. I developed this habit pretty early on in my career where I was constantly just focused on figuring out how to plug the profit leaks. And I was motivated to do this because that very first time I hit 7 figures, that whole elation that I felt was ripped from me when I realized I owed more than $350,000 to the IRS. So I was no longer a millionaire. I had that status for just a few moments, but ultimately plugging the the profit leaks, keeping much more of what you're working hard for, figuring out where all those holes are, especially in the area of taxation, that is something that can help you become a millionaire. I can absolutely say that the first 4 years of my business, I was definitely challenged. I made pretty much every single mistake you can make in business. I definitely checked all of those boxes. And the thing that actually changed the course of my life and put me on the path to becoming a millionaire was absolutely the mentors that I sought out. I decided early on that, you know what, I need to go to people who have actually been and attained the things I aspire to and just start to model what they were doing, because what I was doing, it was not working. But once I finally did, I finally started putting into practice those things, I was able to make major shifts in my life. So if you want to be put on the fast track to a millionaire, definitely seek out mentorship. A myth that absolutely needs to be busted when it comes to trying to become a millionaire is the whole concept of multiple streams of income. You've probably heard that myth. The average millionaire needs to have 7 streams of income. I believe that the concept of multiple streams of income is really best for accumulating and protecting real wealth. It's not necessarily best for creating wealth to begin with. When you look at becoming a millionaire, if you divide your focus and attention on multiple streams of income, you end up with divided focus and attention. And your journey to hitting that millionaire status is just extended. Whereas if you were to focus all of your time, all of your energy on just one stream of income, you'll be shortcutting your journey to becoming a millionaire. I was talking with my son, Ryan. He's 8, he's gonna be 9 in January. And he was telling me about an experience he had with his friends earlier in the day. He was playing a game and he came to me and he was a little bit sad, and I asked him why, and he said because he lost this game. And I said to him, well, what happened when you didn't get the result you wanted in the game? And he said, well, I quit. And I said to him, well, that's why you lost. Because if you quit, that's the way you lose. And if you don't quit, you never lose. So he said to me, he goes, so wait a minute. That means if I never give up, I never lose? My answer to him was absolutely. The man who reads lives 1,000 lives before he dies, but the man who never reads only lives one. That's a quote by George R.R. Martin. He's the author of Game of Thrones, you may have heard of it. But the quote itself rings so true for me because reading has been one of those habits for me that have absolutely kept me on the path to becoming a millionaire. When you read, you're essentially getting the opportunity to live through the pages and words of others to avoid the roadblocks that so many people hit. And it essentially gives you the ability to shortcut your journey of success. It's important to know what you're reading too. So instead of picking up like Game of Thrones, no offense, George R.R. Martin, you pick up something like this from Tim Ferriss, The 4-Hour Workweek. This is an example of a book that absolutely changed my life, and it can change yours too. I can remember watching an interview once, and it had Michael Jordan. He was talking about every stage of his basketball career from the time he was actually in high school still. He was constantly engaged in leveling up his skill sets. That's a lesson that I took to heart because I do believe that for those individuals who are interested in achieving significant milestones of success, it really should come down to being in a pursuit of continual self-improvement. Doing so can help ensure you become the competition that no one wants to compete with. If you were to ask any member of my family, or any member of my team for that matter, they'll tell you that I have a pretty weird relationship with sleep, or really the lack thereof. But I can absolutely count the habit of waking up early as one of those key ingredients in my journey to becoming a millionaire. When you wake up early, you get the opportunity to focus on things before you get distracted with the regular workday. So for me, mornings, waking up early gives me uninterrupted time to focus on the things that matter. My personal journey, the things I have to do in order to improve myself, and 2, the areas of focus that I need to give to my business so that it can thrive. So that during the normal workday, when my team is active and they need my time and attention, I can give it to them without sacrificing the impact of those 2 other things. Could I do that late at night? Maybe I could, but I'd probably be pretty tired after a long day. And plus, evening time, that's family time for me. So if you want to make your habits important, make sure you seize your morning with the habit of waking up early. It's time to break the myth that health is required for wealth. It absolutely isn't. There are plenty of individuals out there that are completely unhealthy and they're millionaires. You've probably seen them. But my question for you is this: are you really going to be able to enjoy your millions if you're really that unhealthy? I think not. Let me tell you a little bit about my story. I'm about 5'11", and in the not so distant distant past, I was more than 250 pounds. And I got to a point where I was sedentary, I was eating tons of junk food. And my wife, she finally came to me and said, Edward, what are you doing? You gotta cut it out. So I did. With her help, I switched over to a primarily plant-based diet. I started moving again, exercising, playing tennis, and I've lost now over 50 pounds. And being healthy has led to 3 things within my life, and specifically in my journey to becoming a millionaire. 1, it created movement and workflow and blood flow and brain flow so that I can think and focus on the tasks at hand on each and every day. 2, it led for an opportunity for me to network some more. I don't know about you, it's pretty hard to play tennis without anyone else on the court with you. And 3, it's led to more discipline within my own life. Health has absolutely been a habit that has helped me become a millionaire. So there you have it, 13 habits that have helped make me a millionaire and which I'm confident can help you too. Now, if you've liked what you've heard, please remember, hit that thumbs up. It will really help me with the algorithm. And for doing so, as a little gift from me to you, I've curated this video that I think you'll love. I can't wait to see you on the next episode. Bye for now.